Hi Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today we're going to do the masking technique. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here are the pieces. We're using the Smoky Slate, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then the basic black is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then the Whisper White is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And you're going to need 2 pieces of the Whisper White, cut at the same size. Okay, so first we're going to grab the Big Shot. We're going to cut one of the Whisper White pieces with the template first. Okay, so we're using the oval framelits, and I'm using the 4th one from the inside, this size right here. And we're going to take our Whisper White piece, and we're going to position this oval right where we want it on the Whisper White. So if you want it centered or if you want it up a little bit higher, this is the time to do that, because this is going to be your template. Okay, so I think right about there looks good. And we're going to send this through the Big Shot. Okay, so now we're back to the 2 pieces of Whisper White. Now this is our template, so we're just going to layer this right over top of the other piece that's cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And you could use some Dado adhesive or some removable adhesive if you want to make sure that this does not move on top of your bottom piece there. Okay, so then we're going to grab our Smoky Slate Classic ink, and I have a stamping sponge. And all we're going to do is we're going to sponge inside of this oval here. So let me go ahead and do that. Make sure your template does not move. Okay, so then once you remove the template, you have your masking background. Isn't that cute? Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and stamp. I'm going to show you the second masking technique that we're going to use today. So the stamp set we're using is called Wetlands, and we're using this little goose here and the Thinking of You, and then these little weeds here. Okay, so we're going to ink the goose up. And I want to stamp him right over here to the right. Right about there, I guess. Okay, so these weeds here are stamped behind the goose. And let me show you what it looks like when you don't do the masking. Let me just stamp the sample right here first. To show you what it looks like when you don't do the masking. Okay, and we're going to stamp the weeds right behind the goose. I mean, it looks cute, but I want that duck to come out in front of the weeds. So we're going to stamp on a piece of the vellum cardstock, and you're going to make a mask with this goose here. So you're just going to stamp it. You can use cardstock too, but I'm just using the vellum. So you're going to stamp your goose, and then you're going to go ahead and cut out your goose by hand, right along the edge of the goose. Okay, so I went ahead already and did that. So this is what it looks like. Can you see that? Alright, so now here's the trick for this masking technique with this. You're going to take this piece of vellum with the goose, and you're going to layer it right over top of the image that we already stamped. Just like that. And then you're going to take your weeds, I call them weeds, and stamp right over top of that piece of vellum. And then the goose template mask over top of the weeds. Can you see that? Isn't that awesome? So look at the difference here. You can see the weeds come across the duck, as this one looks like the goose is standing out in front of the weeds, like he's walking out of the circle there. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and stamp the Thinking of You. And I have it also stamped on a piece of vellum. And we're going to just line that up right about there. I'm going to take our Stamp-a-ma-jig and Stamp this with this black stays on. Okay, and that's just so cute. What a great man card. I love it. Just going to go ahead and layer this piece onto the basic black. And then layer this piece onto the smoky slate. Okay, that's how you do the masking. So then here's the other one. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.